This is Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, a podcast and radio program presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan.
Driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
And now, here he is, your host, Jim Ervin.
Baby, I'm home.
Well, hello there, my friends, and thank you, Parker. I'm Jim Ervin, and this is Time Signatures. In our very first episode, which aired, get this, April 22nd, 2023.
My goodness.
It's been 2.5 years, man,
Wow.
already. But I digress. In that episode, we welcomed today's guest for the very first time. Well, two of the three, anyway, appeared on that episode. And I am pleased that I get to welcome them back once again here on a very special video episode. This gentleman and his bandmate, James L. Williams, formed the Downtown Blues Band some 35 years ago in Lansing, Michigan. As history records, that band was a key player, no pun intended, in the blues resurgence of that time period in the greater Lansing area, when you couldn't throw a stone without hitting either a blues venue or a blues musician locally. For 32 years, the Root Doctor Band held court in Lansing and across the great state of Michigan, developing one of the most loyal fan bases anywhere. So much so that when the boys of the band decided to reunite after a couple of years doing their own things musically, and the response was explosive. We have a lot to talk about, so without any further chatter on my part, let's welcome the godfather of Mid-Michigan Blues, my good friend, Freddie Cunningham, and you can't have Freddie without his beautiful wife and manager, a woman I have great reverence for, Marge Mooney. So pleased to have you both today on Time Signatures. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's an honor
Enjoy
to be
being
here.
here.
It's so good to have you both here. Now, as
Yes.
I was preparing for this interview, and by the way, guys, if you're watching and you see my little dog here, she's a guest. We're kind of fostering her right now. Her name is, sorry about that. This is, oh, good Lord. Now her name's slipping my mind.
Maisie?
Her name is Maisie. That's right. Her
Yeah.
name is Maisie. So you're going to probably see her floating around in the shot here, and we're just going to let it happen just because that's what we do. No big deal. But as I was preparing for this interview, I was absolutely blown away by my first episode. It aired like 2.5 years ago already.
Wow.
Calendar years. It's crazy. It's been quite a ride, guys. And it all started with you, Fred. How about it?
You know, time passes when you're having fun. It
Yeah.
really does. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, you know, if you enjoy what you're doing, time passes. It just goes. And if you try and retire, then it goes even faster. You know,
Well, no, huh?
Yeah, as I well know. You're right.
And it's been what, almost, is it 3 years or is it 4 years?
3
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, since we disbanded the Root Doctor Band. Yeah.
Well,
Officially.
kinda.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
going to talk about
Yeah.
that. So some of this is going to be like covering old ground for you guys because we did this, for our first episode.
Right.
But we're doing it on video this time around, and we're going to be talking about some new stuff as well. And to get things rolling, Freddie, I want to ask you about your earliest memories of music. Where did it all start for you?
Oh, earliest memories of music is pretty much in church. You know,
Okay.
my mom was choir president of a choir for like, I don't know, 30 some odd years. And so that was my link, that was my connection. And so never wanted to shy away, from a song. That was right down my alley. I was glad to do it. I had a good time doing it, and I don't regret a minute of it.
And how old were you when all that started?
Oh, I was 5 and 6 years old.
No kidding.
Oh yeah.
So you've been at this a long time,
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
Wow. Now, knowing that you are one of two accomplished musicians in your family, the other being your brother, world-class jazz saxophonist Tim Cunningham, I assume there was a lot of music in your home in those early years. Talk about what was on the turntable or on the radio at that time.
Oh, there was always music in our home. Clear Ward. My mom was it had a big gospel collection. Sister Rosetta Tharpe. declared award singers, of course, and um, early young Sam Cooke and the Soul Stirrers,
Wow.
the people
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, there was always, and my cousins, they played guitar and harmonica and sang and different stuff. Because those were her first cousins that she grew up with,
Sure.
and they all sang and had pretty good voices. They did pretty good.
So you guys would get together and just jam. Jam and
Not
sing.
me. I wasn't. I was too young.
Oh, got
But
got
yeah, but mom and her cousins, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they would sing.
So who were your earliest influences as you were coming up?
Oh, Nat King Cole. Um, what was that guy's name?
See, I got him doing it now.
Merry Christmas Baby. What was his name? Um, do do do. But anyway, Nat King Cole and guys like that. Ray Charles, early Ray Charles, and and plus I had coming up and going through all that, I had to make up my mind as to who I was going to sound like or who I wasn't going to sound like or who to finally you know it it just dawned on me I had to just be myself and I couldn't be anybody else. So
Yeah,
that was
because
that.
Ray's already got it covered.
Yeah.
BB's already got it
Yep. They
covered.
already
Yeah.
they already had it covered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lou
You know,
Rawls.
Lou Rawls,
Yeah.
yeah, was a big influence.
No
Yeah.
kidding. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Now
Oh
we
yeah.
got it. We got to get Marge in here because if we don't, she's going to be throwing stuff at me here soon. But she's largely been the managerial force behind the Root Doctor band pretty much since its inception. We can't leave her on the sidelines. We got
Pretty
to bring her
much.
in here. So come on here, Marge. Talk about your early inspirations in music, if you would, and what was playing on your radio and turntable back then.
Oh boy. Um, my sister, when I was younger, had won the full Apple set of Beatles albums. So
Oh,
we had
wow.
the Beatles. I was listening to Cat Stevens. First album I was given as a that was my own. I got for my birthday was George Harrison, 33 and a third.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jethro Tull. Yeah, I was five. I was number 5 out of 6 kids. So the older,
Okay.
I was listening to the older.
So you got a
kids.
lot of hand-me-down stuff that crossed generations, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, and we had some musicals albums in the house. We had Jesus Christ Superstar.
Okay.
I used to like that
All
one.
right.
Yeah. M My family didn't really play any instruments or anything, but I was really thrilled to find out through old family photos that my father's mother was involved in musical.
Oh, so you come by it honestly too then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now, Fred, I remember that you had mentioned that this is your second marriage.
Hmm.
So I would love to hear about how the two of you met. Now, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity for you and Marge to both kind of tell the story together, if you will.
Hmm.
And Marge, you feel free to pop in. I know you're good at doing that. It's never been a problem. And go and just tell me how you guys got together.
Well, when we first met, it was like 1982.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was coming through the studio because we worked at WKAR.
Sure.
Well, I did at that time, and she was coming through on a tour, and so we met then, and she decided that she was going to become an intern, and so she became an intern, and we worked together because it was auction time back then. It was that.
Were you involved in the auction?
Oh my gosh!
yeah.
For,
Oh
for
God,
I don't
we got to talk about the early '90s when we
I
get
don't
done with
know
this
how
interview.
many. Yeah, I don't know how many years we did that auction because we our auction here in town ran so well that we did it a few years longer than they did it nationally. They had a national auction
Yeah.
time, and then there were your affiliate stations, they did an auction of their own. And when the national auction people they stopped doing it because they thought that it had run its course.
Right.
We actually did I don't know, maybe three, four more auctions after, you
My
know.
favorite guy there was Matt with the fuzzy slippers.
Oh, Matt Ottinger.
Matt Otten, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
Matt
one that did
Ottinger. Yeah.
the quiz show, the
Yeah.
Quizbusters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Quizbusters. Yeah.
All right. I
Yep.
wasn't going to do this till we were done with the recording, but I'm going to share this story because I think you'll get a kick out of it. Back in the early 90s, I worked at a little country upstart called Country 102,
Okay.
WILS.
Okay.
And we were invited to come and guest host on the auction.
Okay.
And I remember Rob, I don't know if you remember Rob Roy Nelson, young guy, good looking guy, always had his
Not,
hair perfect,
no.
and he
Okay.
in radio, so you
Yeah.
didn't see it. But
Okay.
anyway, Rob Roy and I were teamed together on one of the boards, and he said, "Listen, Irv," he said, "play it straight. These guys are just right down the middle. They want you to do it, get off, get it done, read it,
Yeah.
and be done with it." So what do? I look, I look behind the set, and I see one of those director's headsets,
Oh, okay.
not plugged in, but it was laying there on the
Yeah.
one of the
On the
pieces,
board. Yeah.
and I grabbed it and I put it on my head. And when they came to us, I said, "Yeah, and I'd like to get a large order of fries with that and a Coke." And Rob Roy just had this mortified look on
Oh,
his face,
jeez,
and
what are you
everybody's
doing?
laughing their
Yeah.
butts off.
Yeah.
It broke the ice for me. I had never been on television
Oh,
before, and
yeah.
I was scared to death.
It was a fun time.
It was a fun time
Yeah.
and he had me scared, like they were going to throw me out of there if I didn't do it straight.
No, they wanted you to, they wanted you to push the stuff, but they also wanted you to have a good time.
And
That was the fun of
yeah,
having the audience, because all the people who were answering the phones
oh
and all
yeah,
that stuff, well, they were the in studio audience,
yes,
so they were, these people were mic'd up, so they were hearing what you were, what was going on. So it was, kind of an audience, captive audience, if you will, type of a thing.
God, I
Yeah.
wonder if they've got that somewhere in the archives. Wouldn't that be something? They
Oh,
probably don't, but
No, not
no, not anymore.
oh, I know. I
'Cause-
had a copy of it on VHS,
oh,
and my daughter, when she was young,
okay.
grabbed it and taped a Barney episode or something, and it's gone.
No, yep,
But
that's gone.
man, it was a good time.
Oh,
So
yeah,
back
definitely.
back in those early days, I'd like to go back there for a minute and talk
Mhm.
about the formation of the then Downtown Blues Band,
Mhm.
Fred. How did that come together for you guys?
Well, what happened was we had started to do a Thursday night. It was a Thursday night sit-in, kind of like, if you will. They allowed us to play because we didn't, there wasn't any pay,
well, this is
anything.
pre-band. This is like with Steve Pinkney
Yeah, with Steve
and
Pinkney and
people that you met through the Blue Avenue Delegates, I believe.
Blue Avenue Delegates and the Uptown Band,
Hmm.
because there was Steve Pinkney and I think Dave Levington was there, was
Could be.
Matchett was a little bit,
Uh-huh.
was in there, and Scott Allman.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And all those people were there. So they we were kind of, well, we had been playing together kind of in that, because that was Gregory's, actually.
Gregory's Ice and Smoke in
Gregory's
the
Ice and
old,
Smoke. It was in
parking lot.
yeah,
Parking ramp.
parking ramp down
Okay.
underneath the parking ramp. And we used to play there on Thursdays, and Mike Squarey, who used to play in Blue Money, well, I don't know how many other bands around Lansing, he called me one day and he said, would you like to put together a band?" And I said, "Sure, why not? Yeah." And he said, "Well, this guy at Tango's, which is in the Naps building,
Yep.
yeah, downtown.
Yep.
Well, he said, this guy asked me, if I had a band, and that they wanted to start having live music in Tango's. And I said, sure, we could do that. He said, well, you meet me down there at Tango's, and then we'll talk to him and we'll get it together, and see, like when he wants us to start and stuff.
Right.
So I went down there,
You didn't even know him at that point. You
I
didn't
had
know
no
what he looked like.
idea.
Didn't even know Mike?
I
No.
had no idea what Mike looked like.
So he just called you out of the blue.
He just called me out of the blue because he knew Scott Allman,
Yeah.
and I had been singing around, a little sitting in here and there,
Okay.
and so he called me, right? He called me out of the blue, and I said, sure, and I'll meet you down there. So I went down to Tango's, and I think I asked maybe one or two guys if they were Mike Scory. No, no, no. And he finally came in. He said, "You're Freddie." Yeah, yeah, okay, Mike. Here we go. So
Wow.
we went and talked to this guy, and he says, "You guys have a band?" He said, "Well, yeah, yeah." He said, "Well, how long you been?" Well, we've been, just been playing around, but we've been playing together for a while, And he says, "Well,
Sold him a pack of goods,
oh
right?
yeah, oh yeah, a real pack." And he said, "Well, you come back in 2 weeks." This was on a Friday. He said, "Come
Okay.
back in 2 weeks from tonight, and we'll see, see how your band sounds and see what we can do." So we practiced for 2 weeks every night.
Wow.
So the band that they put together
Every
was
night we for 2 weeks.
Mike Scory, Freddie, Scott Allman, Dave.
Ludington,
No,
Dave Matchett.
no.
Ooh,
Drummer. Drummer Dave.
Drummer Dave.
Dave.
Oh, this.
And of course, James L. Williams.
And James Elwell.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the first iteration of the Downtown Blues Band.
Oh,
Owned Flatback and Circular.
Oh,
Dick Rosemont.
Dick.
Yeah,
Rosemont.
Dick
I'm sorry,
There we go.
Dick Rosemont.
Yeah, you would say
Can you delete
Dave.
that?
Yeah, Dick Rosemont.
Dave's not here.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No, it's Dick Rosemont.
Yes.
Wow.
And he, yeah, we went down there and we played the set, and everybody was so excited, and they, oh, you got to play another set. Play it. Well, we don't know another set. It says, well, we'll play that one backwards. So we just played the one that we had played. We just did
Just
the
did it
songs
reverse.
just did the songs in
Wow.
reverse. And we were down there for 2 years.
No kidding.
I'm not sure how long. I can't remember. But also, your brother was playing the night before, right?
That's
And
right.
he was playing
Yeah, my
Thursday.
brother,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he play on Thursday night,
No
and
kidding.
we played Friday and Saturday. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Now,
And
how long after? And I understand the reason for the Downtown Blues Band is because there was already an Uptown Blues Band.
right, we changed the name because people
Right.
were getting confused
Right.
With the Uptown and Downtown.
with the Downtown Blues Band and the Uptown Band.
So, at what point did you decide, or did the band decide to go with the Root Doctor name? When was that?
Maybe a year into the into that tangos thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there
about-
wasn't there also an Old Town Blues Band as well? At some point?
Now that was
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
No wonder they're getting
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, that was now, and that was Bill Malone's band.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
were all three bands around the same time frame?
Two of them were.
I
Okay.
think Old Town
Yeah.
came a little bit later
It came
Okay,
a little bit
okay.
later. Yeah, because they
after we
as
changed our name.
well. What?
After we changed our name.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
well, yeah. Quite a while after we changed the
Okay.
name, and then the Old Town Blues. Well, they disbanded, and that's how we were able to get Bill and Mike.
We're gonna get to that in just a little
Yeah.
bit. We are gonna
Yeah.
get to that.
Yeah.
But that was basically the impetus for making the change, was just the confusion between the Uptown and Downtown.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now, over the course of the next 32 years, you had several changes in the Root Doctor band, several iterations,
Mm-hmm.
but the one constant of all of your bandmates, and I've talked to a lot of them, Fred, none of them ever had a negative word to speak about Freddie Cunningham. And that really says a lot about you as a band leader, doesn't it?
Well, I tried to to treat the people who were playing with me not for me,
Right.
you know, and I never got any more money than anybody else. Um, Sometimes when Bill would set up if we had to go somewhere and he would set up the PA, he would get more money than I just take what, what the four of us got, and he'd take the bigger share because he did more of the work. So
Oh, he did the sound for
yeah,
some of these.
yeah,
Okay.
and I said those times when he did do the sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And no, I just, I treated everybody the way that I wanted to be treated.
Well, and the other thing that I heard, and it's funny because when we were doing the storytellers, one of the stories that came out about Fred was that if somebody made a big deal of a flub, that Fred would get on him and say, "No, don't paint it. Just keep on going. Keep going.
Oh
If you
yeah,
draw attention to yourself, they're going to know." And,
exactly.
but that was the only thing it was nothing ever negative about you. And I thought, man, that's really kind of cool to get that kind of a perspective, because as I said, you had several different bandmates through the
Yeah.
years,
Oh yeah.
you
I
know?
was, and I've told them that, I'd be forever grateful for the people that I've had, the 32 years, that they've all been top flight musicians. I've
Yes,
never,
sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
and they've all been highly qualified, you know,
And you
uh,
had that signature sound that never went away,
they
even
never
when you
changed.
changed
Yeah.
bandmates, which I thought was really, in my opinion, you don't find that very often. That was a very unique signature piece of the Root
Mm-hmm.
Doctor band,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't it?
Uh, well, it was me as a constant, and James,
Yeah,
and that it kind of set a tone, because we wanted to for people to feel free in doing what they wanted to do, but we
sure.
also wanted the band to have a feel, to have a sound to it,
Yes, sir.
and have a signature Root Doctor sound in particular.
And you did.
Yeah,
You absolutely did.
yeah, we were.
Now, Marge, from the perspective of manager,
Mhm.
looking back over the last 32 years, what is the number one thing that you are most proud of with your affiliation with the Root Doctor Band? Now, you got to set Freddie aside for a minute. Put your managerial hat on.
um, I feel like it's getting to know all the other musicians around and making friends with them. Um, yeah, because I, yeah,
I
my
left her
relationship
speechless.
with
Can you believe this? I
yeah,
left her speechless.
Well, she's dealt with so many other personalities, and to tell you the truth, they haven't all been. It hasn't all been a walk in the park. To tell you the truth, some people were a little more handsy to deal with, and you deal with those people, and the way that you deal with them, and I'm proud to say that she's always handled that with the greatest amount of grace that I've seen. I have never heard any.
Mhm. No, I haven't
No,
heard any negatives
no,
about her either.
no.
So, Marge,
well,
did
can
you
I
ever
back up a
go
little
ahead,
bit?
please, please?
There was a point in time where the management has moved to Greg Nagy and Jim
Alfredson?
Alfredson
Uh-huh.
did a lot of the management, and that is actually what is why we have so many albums. And you know, uh, Greg was a let's do this, let's make an album, and I
That's funny.
really
I
appreciate that.
remember Greg and Jim in different interviews talking about that they wanted to get more albums out there.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any regrets about that, or you think that was, looking back, it was a really good idea?
Looking back, it was a great idea.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, it was uh he brought some fire to the band that was missing,
Okay.
and
And the
there
knowledge of how to do that.
and the knowledge of how to do it,
Yes, sir.
and that was that was a great thing for him,
Yeah.
as far as Greg and in the band. And uh and when he left, we were still friends. I mean, he didn't, I mean, they didn't leave in a huff. He and Jimmy, they left at the same
Oh,
time.
did they really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
they left at the same time. That's why uh Bill and Mike came at the same time.
Sure.
Yeah,
Bill and Mike, or was it Bill and Jim?
Bill and
Or no,
Mike,
Dave. I'm sorry. You just said that Jim
Bill
left.
Malone and Mike Scory.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever, Marge, I got to go back to you for a
Mhm.
minute. Did you ever have to rein in a venue operator that maybe was looking past you and trying to get answers from the guys, and you ever have to let them know that you were the
No,
contact?
I didn't have any problem with that.
Okay.
No, because um yeah.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because if you listen, and I've talked to a number of blues musicians, females, who have been given short shrift, they've been looked over, they've been ignored, and they have to assert themselves, and then people want to call them bitchy, because they get looked past and looked over. So I just wondered if that
Well,
was
just try to arrange a gig so that when we're at the gig, there's no questions necessary,
okay. Okay.
and yeah, I didn't.
I have, on the other hand, have run into that because it gets to a point where if you don't play anything, then you're not taken seriously.
Oh, if you're not playing an instrument, yeah,
If you
understood.
don't walk in with a guitar, suitcase in your hand, or
Right.
or whatever, then you're not taken seriously. I've had to say, you know, a, a couple times, you know, uh, I was here, and I was here, I know, before all these guys that you have on stage now, and but you haven't called my name. I wasn't being mean or anything. It
Sure.
just, and I called his attention to that. I said, this is not the first time, that this has happened. This, you don't, you don't take vocalists as musicians. I worked as hard perfecting my voice as maybe you have perfecting the harmonica or the guitar or whatever it is that you're
I wouldn't
playing.
want to do your job.
You know,
I've seen your
well,
performances.
it's pretty physical.
Yes, it is.
Well, it used to be.
Yeah. Oh, who you kidding, Fred?
He's got a stool now.
You think you're not still giving 120%? Who you kidding, man?
Well, yeah, you know,
Now,
but no, but that, and it gets to be. I mean, but it's like, in this business, like anything else, if you don't stick up for yourself,
yeah,
then you'll get run over.
yeah.
Yeah, but
And you don't need that, do you?
no, and
If
you don't have to be mean about it.
No.
All you have to, just, say, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Fred, go ahead. You opened for BB King,
Mm-hmm.
which in my estimation had to be the top of the list for you. I don't know that you could get much bigger than that. What was that experience like, and did you get to meet and chat with BB at some point?
We didn't, because there was so many people. Well, I didn't personally.
Okay.
Um, there were so many people around, and so no, I just, I got up and did what I could do, and just got out of the way. Really, I enjoyed the show. And I met a lot of people who were there that I didn't know later on. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Later on, and they said, "Oh, I was at that show,"
Wow,
and the Wilsons and
Yeah.
a lot of those kids. Yeah. So
man.
yeah,
I know I talked to Bill about that when he was on the board at Cabs,
yeah,
and tells the story about sitting down with BB.
Yeah.
And I mean, as you've heard, and I've heard, I've never seen it personally because I've never seen BB, unfortunately. he would just spend as much time as he wanted to with you.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And he took a liking to Bill, and they spent nearly 2 hours together, man. He was getting mean mugged. They were flipping him off. They're going, get out of there.
Yeah.
And BB just told me, he says, look, man, he says, I've played for kings, I've played for presidents, I've played in so many countries. And he said, when I meet somebody I want to have an audience with, that's what I want to do. He says,
Yeah.
you sit down there. He
Yeah.
said, I'll meet every one of them people before I leave tonight.
Yeah.
And he did.
And he did.
And he did.
Yeah.
And I've heard that story over and over and over again. Here we just celebrated his 100th birthday
Yeah.
just a week or so ago.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Now, you also played for President Clinton, as I
Mhm.
understand, at one of his rallies.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience, would you? I'm sure that must have been really something else.
That was chaotic.
There
I'll
was
bet.
a train
Oh,
stop.
yeah.
Oh, it was a whistle
It was
stop
a whistle stop. Yeah.
in East Lansing, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Trowbridge Road, right?
On
Off
this
of
side,
Trowbridge.
this side of Trowbridge.
Okay.
Yeah. On campus, because where the, geez,
You're
where
fine.
the train
You're fine.
goes. The train goes, like they're behind. Was it Wonders? I
Like
think,
back by the
yeah.
Amtrak area there, in that area.
Across Harrison, east of Harrison.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
On campus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Across from
Okay.
Trowbridge.
Yeah, and so it was kind of back in there, and he did a whistle stop. But that was it was really kind of hard, to tell you the truth.
Now, he wasn't president at that time, correct?
No,
He was running for president
Yeah,
for the
but
first time.
yeah, but there was Secret Service.
Oh,
and
I'm
all
sure.
that, and all that stuff, and security up the, and it was we were kind of corralled in this little spot, and did I don't know how many songs, and meanwhile the big lug is up there doing whatever it is that he's doing.
You mean
So
party?
For people,
no,
for
Oh, the
people
Big
that
Lug?
don't know,
The
Big
Big
Lug,
Lug.
Big Lug is the character for the Lansing Lug Nut.
right,
Okay.
mascot,
A lot of people
Yeah.
may not know who the Big
Who
Lug
the
was.
big lug is.
Go look
Yeah.
him up. There's pictures of him all over the place.
I have pictures with him.
Do you?
Oh yeah, we took pictures of the big lug this year. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. It
Now-
was it was fun, but it was chaotic.
Was there any opportunity to meet
No,
Clinton at the
no.
time?
oh no,
No?
no.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
it was and do your thing and get the hell out. So
All right, Fred, I want to turn the page and I want to hear from both of you on
Uh-huh.
this. One of the other key performances that I personally got to see was the final show at the Green Door, which
Okay.
happened June 28th, just a couple of months ago,
yeah.
just before they went dark. And I know that had to be a bittersweet moment for you and Marge, especially with your history with that venue. Talk about that evening for just a moment, would you? And both of you, I'd like to hear from both of you on this.
Well, we played there every weekend for a while, or every other weekend
Yeah.
for
But
years.
yeah, yeah,
And then not.
yeah. But it was bittersweet, because there were a lot of memories, there,
I can imagine.
and
Mhm.
and we met a lot of nice people, wonderful people there, and just to have the number of people who came out, and people leaving, and more people coming in.
Yeah.
It was kind of like in shifts almost. And
Let me ask you a question. Was that like the good old days when the door was really busy?
somewhat,
Because that place, I've never seen that many bodies in the Green Door. Never. Until that night. The only thing close to that was Jim Flynn's memorial when we had that memorial meeting
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I have never seen the Green Door in its heyday.
It
Oh, yeah,
was-
it was.
that was kind of like it was,
Okay.
but some of those nights were no seating. That if you get in there, what 9 o'clock, you didn't have a seat.
Yeah, and that's what I ran into. Somebody actually
Yeah.
let me sit in their chair for a
Yeah.
few minutes so I
Oh,
could
yeah.
get a respite on my
Yeah.
legs,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and and there were a lot of good, there were a lot of good people in there, a lot of nice people. And
Yes.
the only bad part that I didn't like about it, and think about it now, was the smoking. Oh
Back in the
my
day.
So bad.
gosh, you'd come home and you'd have to hang your clothes outside,
Oh, I can imagine.
and yeah, it was just
Because I remember back in the 80s and early 90s before they put the smoking ban on,
yeah.
Mhm.
I used to DJ once in a while at clubs and whatnot and come home and I was a smoker and I stunk.
Oh yeah, me
Oh,
too.
you could smoke a pack
Yeah.
of cigarettes and not light up. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, and then
Wow.
all of your equipment, you
Oh
come in
yeah.
and you open up your
Trunk.
your trunk, or your
Oh.
The equipment was just
whatever,
nasty.
and you smell it all over again,
Oh
and it
man.
just, yeah. So it was it was fun, like everything else. It has its ups and downs.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, as I mentioned in the opening of this episode, the Root Doctor Band has poked its head out of retirement a couple of times, most notably at the Music in the Park
Uh-huh.
events the past 2 years in Lansing, where you guys drew the biggest crowd, according to Sean, that they've ever seen for one of those events. And then there was also Mason's Sun Dried, and you guys drew a massive crowd for that one as well. That has to feel good to see your fan base still intact after being out of the circulation a bit, wasn't it?
For being out of circulation that long, yeah,
Yeah, because
and
you guys
that's,
been doing your own things. You've been doing the jazz thing on
yeah,
Tuesdays, doing the
yeah,
blues jams on Sundays,
yeah.
but you've not been together as the Root Doctor Band but a few times.
But a few times, and
Yeah.
that was those 3 times those were the only times, since the band is
Yeah.
disbanded. Has been the only 3 times.
We played last year at Morris Park too.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Yep.
and okay, 3 times this year.
Yeah.
Four.
Well, actually four because you
Yeah.
got Sun Dried.
Yeah,
So you had
Yeah.
Morris Park
Morris
2 years,
Park.
then you
Right.
had the Green
Yeah.
Door, then you had Sun
Right.
Dried.
and Grand
Yeah.
Ledge. This
One
year.
of the greatest thrills that I have had was when Sean asked me to bring the band up. And he says, "Can you handle this? You got this? Or you want me to do it?" I said, "No, I got it." And I put together this rousing speech, and I got the fans all whipped into a frenzy. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, stand to your feet, and I bring you guys on. And goosebumps are this tall off my arms. It was the single biggest thrill, and I wish somebody would have gotten it. If I'd have been thinking, I would have said, "Marge, record this for me."
Yeah,
Never thought about it, and it may never happen again. But it was so cool just to see the response that I got bringing you guys on
Yeah.
stage
Yeah.
for that performance.
Yeah.
It was cool, man. I had a blast. So, all right, Freddie, these days you're still out and about, you're still doing your thing. Of
Mhm.
course, the occasional pop-ups with the Root Doctor
Yeah.
Band.
Every once in a while.
What else are you up to these days?
Um.
Feel free to talk about the Blues Jam. That's
Yeah.
that's my lead in.
Yeah. Yeah. We set Sunday, October 5th.
yes.
Yeah.
Is our next.
We are going to have as the second of our blues jams. This year anyway. We're trying to bring it back. We had such a good time at the Green Dot, and was so successful, and everybody was so appreciative, and they took part, and it was
Well,
it was a great time.
you guys had built that over most of that season because it was mostly a late summer, early fall into the spring type of a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, the Green Dot went dark,
Yeah.
as is too
Mhm.
often the case in the
Yeah.
greater Lansing area.
Too bad.
It is because you guys were having anywhere from 150 to 200 people
Oh,
a
yeah.
month
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
coming
yeah.
in there.
Right.
You had bandmates, people that were coming in from out of town.
Right.
I know for a fact Sonny Blue and the Moons came in one time and they were from down in Oxford.
Right.
Chris Canis came in one time because he heard about it.
Right. And
I mean, And
yeah.
then the local fair too. I mean, you always had the good turnouts with Ray Alshire, yourself, Johnny D, the Johnny D Blues Band. I mean, just to see you guys all up there having the fun that you had.
Mhm.
And when I heard that the Green Dot was going dark, I was like, man, are you
I
serious?
know. But the The venue, I don't know, have because you weren't there the last
I've
time you
not been
had,
there
yeah,
yet.
but you'll enjoy it. It's a big room.
Okay.
It is kind of a big room, but I enjoyed being, I thought the music sounded pretty good in there,
Sure.
Yeah.
and they put some curtains up to kind of baffle the sound a little bit because
Okay.
because it is a big room and it can get too loud in there if you're not careful.
But plenty of opportunity for growth, right?
But plenty of
Yeah.
opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me tell you how it all started.
Jump on in there, girl.
Um, was it 22? It was after COVID, and we had a lot of things we needed to celebrate. We had, grandkids who graduated from college and high school. My 60th birthday, Freddie's 80th birthday. So we just rounded up all of these events
Yeah.
and celebrated on one. I think it was a June or July.
Yeah.
Was it 22?
Yeah, I think it was.
And
I
so
was looking because the poster used to hang right here.
oh,
And it's
Okay.
either over here on the floor next to me or it's in the room where I was showing you all the
Oh,
posters
okay.
before we started.
All right.
There was a poster that was designed. Oh, you can finish in just a minute. There was a poster that was designed by Dennis Preston, who is a local legend when it comes to art,
Oh,
every
my
bit as
God.
much as Freddie
He
as a
is
musician.
amazing.
And matter of fact, I don't know if you guys can see anything. You probably can't see above the sign, but there's a couple things that Dennis has drawn up here. And he did this wonderful sign, and it was not a caricature.
No.
It was a drawing of you and Marge
Yeah.
together,
mhm.
and talking about all the things you were celebrating.
Yeah.
And I remember being there that day and had everybody that was playing sign it, including you guys, of course. And it was just a thrill to be a part of that. It was
It
so
was
much fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
That was an amazing day because I don't know, but I think three of my four grandkids were there,
Yes, I
and
remember you had
and my
family.
son was there, and my daughter was there, and it was a great day.
Yes, it was.
We really had a lot of fun.
And I didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut you off. Go ahead. If you had some more, you
Right.
got to throw in there.
No.
Well, anyway, so that was how it started, and then I think Sean Van Steelen said, if anyone could pull this off regularly, you and Freddie could do that. So we thought, let's start the first Sunday event, especially through the winter when there's not a whole lot to do.
Right,
Right.
right.
We do it in the afternoon, so you can come and have like a late lunch or an early dinner and enjoy yourself. And that's when musicians are off, so that they can come and hang out too. So since the Green Dot closed, we've been trying to figure out where to do it, and we're working with the venue. And I like the space. We just need a lot of people to come and support us so that we can support the venue. A couple of the things I like to do with these events is to support the community. So, for after the first time, last time, we've had someone who will benefit from, we would create auctions and the money would benefit someone. So, coming up to October is Domestic Awareness Month.
Okay.
So, the money from this auction will benefit the MSU Safe House.
Very
I
cool.
have a couple of artists who come in.
Yes.
So what my whole thing is giving back to the community, giving back to the artists, making it an event more than just coming in, more than the music.
Yeah.
So it's I call it more than a wang dang doodle.
The wang dang doodle. Yeah.
And I remember when you guys did those events that would raise money for various charities and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It was always, I mean, you had silent auctions, you had, musicians that would come in and donate their time. And I think it's, as you said, it's a great way to give back to the community.
It is.
And I think it's wonderful, especially with you guys. You've had such a great history of, being out there and being the beneficiaries of a fan base that loves your music. It's wonderful when you give back like that. I think it's very cool.
I would like to say though, we've talked a lot about me and my brother in our music. My sister is also she directs plays and she writes, and she's a producer
Oh, wow.
Of different plays
You
around.
got some talent in that family.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
She was
yeah,
in the
she-
Earl Nelson Singers.
Yeah, she
Very
was.
nice.
Yeah, she was also a member
One of
you
your
know,
sisters.
Yeah, my younger sister, Vanessa, and she was yeah, she's very active, very talented young lady.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
That is so
yeah.
neat. Now, as you look back over the last 40 years, Fred and Marge, how do you both want your contribution, your lifetime of contribution, remembered within the blues and in the greater Lansing? Actually, it's not just blues, because you aren't just a blues band. You guys were blues, R&B, soul.
Yeah.
How do you want your contributions remembered within those communities as you look back over those years?
Just for people to know that uh that I gave to them what I had. You know, everything that that I put out there, it was meant. You know, I meant every word that I said. You know, when I was singing a song, I wasn't singing the song because they rhymed. You know, I sang it because I meant it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm serious. Serious about that. I really do uh, mean what I say, and I say what I mean.
Marge?
I feel that together, Freddie and I are here to heal people. I think music is healing. Freddie is the music. He's made people cry, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And I do work with energy, and the goal is to make a positive impact on people's lives.
And may I say, you have absolutely achieved that. You really have.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, I put up a memory today.
I saw that.
Ironically, today, 3 years ago, was your final performance as the Root Doctor Band on the Michigan Princess.
Yep.
And I happened to be there and I recorded Soul Shine,
Oh,
which was the final song that they performed.
okay.
And I sat there and I listened to that, and it just, I've heard you sing it. I've heard Larry McCray sing it. I've heard Larry McCray sing a different version of it that he just released last year.
Hmm.
He hasn't done it, he hasn't recorded it, but he started performing it. And may I say that I don't have a favorite. I like Freddie's version for a number of reasons. I like Larry's version for a number of reasons. And it's ironic because uh, I got to see Warren Haynes and he never performed it. He didn't. The one night he didn't perform it was in Grand Rapids. Okay. And I was so bummed because I wanted to hear his version.
Yeah.
And, but it's really cool because the cool part about your music, Fred, is that it's real. It truly is. And you can tell that it's from the heart and it's from the soul.
Yeah.
And there's so much music out there. It's just a cacophonous blend of whatever. And then you hear people that have Danielle Nicole, for example. There's a song I'll have to let you guys hear called "The Shiver and Blues." It's on a brand new album by Pierre Lecoq.
Hmm.
I'm actually going to be talking to him in a couple days. Can't wait. But when I heard this song, and I'm telling the story for illustration purposes only. When I heard this song, I went, "Damn, that sounds like Danielle Nicole." And as I listened, I went, "That is Danielle Nicole."
Hmm.
And it was almost 6 minutes, and she just got it. I mean, gut wrenching
Hmm.
depth. I mean, and that's the kind of stuff that you guys do. And it's a wonderful experience, for
It is.
for people that have never seen. And I'm not just saying this because you're here. I'm not just saying this because you're my friends.
No.
I feel it in my heart. I love when I get to see the Root Doctor Band perform. It's an experience. It's not just musicians playing. Like you said, you don't just sing the words, you don't just say the rhymes, you feel it.
Right.
And it comes across.
But thank you. I
So,
appreciate that.
congratulations, because it's work well done as far as I'm concerned.
I, you know, I think about that. You know, whether I have in the past, thought about well what people think. I mean, as much as you say I don't care what people you do.
Yeah, you do.
You do care, and people have told me that they do care about me, and I believe that.
listen, when you come out to the Music in the Park series and almost 550 people show up to hear you, what kind of a message is that giving you right there?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, when you
Yeah.
played at Sun-Dried this fall, late August, you had a huge turnout for that. I
Yeah.
mean, your fan base is still there; they're still intact, and it's so cool that when Marge puts the word out that the Root Doctor Band is going to be performing somewhere, I see you smiling over here. You know you're going to get response,
Yeah.
but you've
Yeah.
earned it. You have worked, you've tilled that soil, you've nurtured that plant. I mean, it's
Yeah.
something that's taken decades to grow,
Yeah.
you know? And what an
Yeah.
experience.
Yes. You know, and it has been quite an experience, one that I'll never forget. Many places as this journey has taken us to, it's been it's been good. It's been really, I've had a great time, met a lot of wonderful people, been a lot of places that I wouldn't have gone probably if I weren't doing this, So yeah,
And considering you're going to celebrate your what, 83rd this year?
82nd.
82nd.
Yeah,
Okay. I thought it
yeah,
was, so it must have been 23 that you did that. Because that
Yeah.
birthday party was celebrating his 80th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, his 80th
82nd.
coming up
Okay.
and my 60th. Just
Sorry, the
passed,
math
so.
is wrong. It's because what she told me earlier, so it's all Marge's fault.
23rd.
But
yeah,
yeah, what a cool thing to be in your position and be able to draw those people out. I mean, I know you still get people out at the jazz deal on Tuesday nights at
yeah,
Moriarty's. When you play with
Jeff Shout.
Jeff Shout
yeah.
and company. I mean, you guys get a good turnout there, and occasionally Jim Alfredson plays with you
Right.
guys
He
too.
does.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool because he's an old bandmate,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and it's just a lot of fun. But I happen to know that you guys still have some Root Doctor CDs and
Mhm.
merch, some shirts, different things like that. I talked to Marge earlier today. They do not have a way for you to order them online. However, if you're in the area and they're out and about, I would imagine you bring those with you to the jazz nights and whatnot.
I have not,
Okay.
but it could be
But the
something I
blues
leave in the
jams?
car.
That's
Yeah.
Blues Jam. She
There you
does.
go. So
Yeah.
if you're in the Lansing, Michigan area, or if you want to drive out and check it out usually it's the first Sunday of the month. Yeah.
First Sunday of the month, October 5th, coming up, 3 to 7 p.m.
There you go. 3 to 7. So you still got time to go home and get to bed. So even if you're coming from the Detroit area or Grand Rapids or Kalamazoo, we would love to have you come out. And it is at a place called the Venue.
Right.
And that is at the old Lansing Mall
Right.
on the north
On
side
the
of the
north
building,
side
correct?
of the
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
the back
Uh-huh.
where it used to be Tequila Cowboys.
Okay. And do you have an address for that building?
I do.
See, I put her on the spot. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, she's got a map.
5660 West Saginaw Highway.
One more time.
5660 West Saginaw Highway.
And
And
that
it is behind it, like at the backside of the mall, indoors. And
yeah, so rain or shine, guys, come on out.
Yeah.
Be a lot of fun. And I can tell you, if you come out, it's always a good time. Johnny
It is.
D and Freddie and the band get up and they do a set and then they open it up. So if you're a musician, you don't
Please
have a
come
right
out.
to perform, but if you come down as a musician, most of the time, I don't think there's been many times when you haven't been able to get everybody on stage and give them a chance to play.
We try and get everybody to accommodate everybody that we can.
And it's always a good time, man. You're
Always a
there
good
with friends. So bring some friends with
Yeah.
you. Come join us. We'd love to have you. Definitely.
yes, please.
Yeah. Freddie Cunningham,
Yes.
Marge Mooney. I can't thank you guys enough for taking the time to join me today
Well,
here for
thank
Time
you.
Signatures. It's such
Thank
a
you
pleasure.
so much.
It's been an honor.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
It's been an honor for me. Thank you. Absolutely. Much love to you both. Now, as we come to a close on this edition of Time Signatures, I would like to tell you about the Capital Area Blues Society, based right here in Lansing, Michigan. CABS began its run in the fall of 1994, and they have built a strong presence in central Michigan, offering an annual blues brawl where the band and solo duo winners are sent to Memphis to compete in the annual International Blues Challenge on Beale Street in Memphis. But there's a lot more. We also hold an annual Breaking Bread with the Blues, offering a day of blues music and a chance to raise funds and food donations for the Greater Lansing Food Bank. Oh, and by the way, CABS also presents this program, for which I am eternally grateful. As with all nonprofits, the Capital Area Blues Society is always looking for donations, so please do me a favor and consider a tax-deductible donation to CABS today. Visit capitalareablues.org and make your donation in any amount. And as always, thank you so much for your consideration. That wraps up this edition of Time Signatures. Once again, my thanks to our guests, Freddie Cunningham and Marge Mooney, but
Thank
also
you.
to you, for without you, none of this would be possible. Jim Ervin reminding you, keeping the blues alive, that's everyone's job, but preserving the history of the blues one story at a time, that's my mission. Until next time, so long, everybody.
Thank you.
This has been Time Signatures with Jim Ervin, presented by the Capital Area Blues Society in Lansing, Michigan. For more information on CABS, visit capitalareablues.org. You can find this episode and past episodes at lccconnect.org. The Time Signatures theme song, Michigan Roads, is used by permission and was written by Root Doctor, featuring Freddie Cunningham.
You know I'm trying, baby, driving up and down these Michigan roads, yeah.
Until next time, keep on keeping the blues alive.
Baby, I'm home.